All right, y'all, the Real Housewives of Potomac taglines are here. Finally, we are only heading into episode 4, and we finally getting the official tea this morning. So we got to go ahead and rate them as we always do. Skye Squad, we are back in the building. I'm trying my best to get y'all content. Y'all know what's going on. If you saw today's video earlier, you know I am on travel, with my friend who is in the hospital. But again, we still trying to make it do what it do on the go, okay? So let's get into these taglines. And I want to talk about who you guys think did it and did it well, okay? Chime down in the chatterization down below and we'll get into it, all right? So first things first, we got Gizelle on the list. Gizelle says, I'm pretty, petty, and always sitting on ready. Now, I like how this sounds. You know what I'm saying? I think it has a nice little ring to it. You know what I'm saying? The pretty, petty, and then the sitting on ready. I mean, it's like a nice little bar right there. You know what I'm saying? If you was rapping or something like that. So, I mean, for me, I'm going to give this tagline like a 9.5 out of 10. Okay. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the chatterization down below. Let's move on to Miss Ashley Darby. She says, you may think you know my story, but there's always a plot twist. Now, I'm going to give her props for the tagline itself, but she kind of said it in a manner that didn't really give me plot twist or intrigue. She kind of just said it real regular, and sometimes tone and inflection can really have an impact on really what we feel about the tagline in general. But Ashley has a very laid back demeanor, so maybe that really kind of explains why I feel like she didn't put the oomph into it like she wanted to. So for me, I'm going to give this tagline an 8, a solid 8, because I like the idea of the you may think you know my story, but there's always a plot twist. I kind of felt like that was pretty cool, so I'm not going to rate her too harshly on that. I kind of like this, all right? So next we have Robyn, who says, when it comes to the truth, I always arrive on time. So it's interesting to me that the taglines came out after the episode called Stand in Your Truth, where Wendy is seen telling Robyn to stand in your truth. Stand in your truth. You call Mia a liar. And then we get Wendy on the hot mic basically saying that she felt like Mia was a liar. Or at least that's who we felt like she was talking about, okay? So I think that when you pull in that in context with the previous episode and then the fact that they always say that Robyn is late, I kind of understand this. But on its own, without all of that understanding, I feel like you really don't get this tagline. So for me, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Okay. Because I feel like you got to pull in so many details to really get it. And it does have a deeper meaning, which I like. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I feel like I wish I didn't need all that. You know what I'm saying? But maybe I should give it an 8. Let me raise that to an 8 because I do feel like there is some cleverness to it when you put it all together. And you should be a fan anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise it up a 0.5 and give it an 8. All right. Let's move on to Candiace, who says, my vocals are clean, but my reads are for filth. Now, listen, like Candiace, loathe Candiace, or whatever you may feel about her. But what we can say are two things. 1, the girl can sing. And 2, her reads are for filth. So you put 2 and 2 together and they do equal 10. Okay, I'm gonna give this one a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, I can't even hate. You know what I'm saying? We got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? And I felt like Candiace delivered on this tagline, whether she wrote it for herself or whether the network does it, because as Nene said in that interview with Larry Reed, I don't know if you saw it, but make sure you guys go catch and see it. Sometimes the network or Andy or someone in production will give them taglines, or sometimes even fans will suggest taglines for them as well. But to me, I think Candiace probably could have came up with this on her own because she is rather smart and articulate. So I got to give this a 10 because I felt like it was, dead on. Mia is next. She says, I may not remember everything, but you'll never forget me. Okay. Now, Mia, I feel like Mia, this you're on point with because you and that memory are somewhat tricky. tricky. I do feel like there is a bit of truth to this, and I do feel like Mia is an unforgettable character on this show. I mean, she is the epitome of chaos and confusion. So for that, I feel like I'm going to have to give her, I'm going to give this a solid 8.5. I really probably should get it. I think it should get an 8 because I feel like it's good, but it ain't quite like bam, pow, like boom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to give it an 8, kind of mid, kind of middle of the road, but accurate, you know? So then we get Dr. Wendy Osefo, who says, I'm a Nigerian queen with no time for mean. So here's the thing. I like the title. I mean, I like the tagline. I like what it means. I agree she's a queen. But when you listen to it, it almost sounds like she's saying no time for me. At least that's the way I heard it when I played it over and over and over and over and over again. So I feel like that mean needs to really be accentuated. And again, I feel like sometimes a tagline is not just the tagline. It's also the tone and inflection and the way you say it. How did you deliver that line? How did you give it to us? How did it roll off your tongue? Did you emphasize anything? What, did you have an attitude when you said it? Like, how did it come across? So honestly, I feel like for this one, I'm going to give her still mid, like about an 8, you know, in that range. I would probably maybe 7.5. It wasn't bad, but I felt like she needed to really emphasize that mean in order for this to really come across with that rhyme like a bar. You know what I'm saying? So then we finally have the Grande Dame herself. We have Karen Yuga, okay? Karen Yuga! We saved her for last. Obviously, Gizelle and Karen are bookending these taglines, as usually is the case for the two reigning, you know, divas on the show, right? All the women are divas, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of like, they're the crucial centerpiece of this group, okay? So we have Karen saying, just like a 3-wick, I burn slow and never waver. Now, I do like the fact that she incorporated the 3-wick into this because it is her candle. So I get the meaning there. And I like the idea of burning slow and never wavering. While I feel like this is a powerful statement, I feel like it's missing the thing that just kind of rolls off your tongue very, very easily. And I just kind of feel like it didn't give me what I wanted from Karen, the Grande Dame. I feel like the Grande Dame has had better taglines, but I do enjoy a good, hey, this has some meaning behind it. So I'm going to give it about a mid, like a 7.5 or 8. So obviously my top 2 are Gizelle's and Candiace's, with Candiace coming out on top with the 10 out of the group. Let me know what your ratings for the taglines are for this season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Thought that I would give you guys this on the go since I could kind of do this and kind of upload it really quickly. Let me know again in the comments what you think, and I will catch you guys in the next video.